Hello everybody, Snitch Racer here, and I want to welcome you to part 3 of the NASCAR 98 Full Season Challenge series. Today's video will include 2 races once again, the first being the legendary Bristol Motorspeedway. This is one of my favorite tracks in real life. It is a half-mile oval with corners banked from 16 to 19 degrees. This makes it quite a fast track for a short track, allowing for some amazing tight racing in real life and in this game. The second race will be at the fantasy road course that the game calls Salt Basin, a fictional track located in Utah. Now, this track was the hardest track to race on so far in this series. First of all, it had been a couple of weeks since I actually last touched NASCAR 98, making it so I was quite rusty with how the physics work and the car's handling itself, making a sketchy affair on track. On top of that, it is a brand new track, which makes things quite difficult as far as learning it for the first time. This all adds up to make it the hardest race of the series so far by a long shot. Will I even make it to the end? Stay tuned to find out. Welcome to part 3 of the NASCAR 98 Full Season Challenge.
Welcome to the volunteer state and beautiful Bristol Motor Speedway. I'm Bob Jenkins for EA Sports, and we're here for round 4 of the NASCAR Championship Racing Series. This short track features straightaways of 650 feet and corners that offer 36 degrees of banking. Drivers must be careful. This track holds the NASCAR record with 23 cautions in one race. Valuable championship points are at stake here. Drivers must finish the race at whatever the cost.
And thank you again, as always, Bob. He's so right on the fact where you just have to get to the end of the race. It's all about survival at a track like Bristol. Because, like I mentioned in the intro there, this is a very fast, tight, short track, making the action happen absolutely at all given times. You never have a break at this track whatsoever. Whether it's the slow lap cars everywhere that you're gonna be passing or all the fast cars trying to pass you, it just never ends. But I'll shut up and let you guys watch my quick little qualifying lap here. Alright. I'll probably start last, but why'd the game throw me in the wall for qualifying? That's just bizarre. Oh, can't break my rule. We're not even going to be in the top 20. Is it going to be last, I wonder? Well, Mark Martin had a terrible qualifying as he smacked the wall, and I mean, he had no control over his own car for some reason, but well, that's how it be sometimes in NASCAR, yo. And yes, that's right, past self. I did get 17th place as the ghosts of NASCAR's past come back to haunt Mark Martin, giving him a 17th place qualifying position. As for the rest of the qualifying positions, we got Terry Labonte on pole position with Dale Earnhardt coming in second, followed up by Dale Jarrett in third, Jeff Gordon fourth, Rusty Wallace fifth, Michael Waltrip sixth, Jerry Mayfield in 7th, and Bill Elliott in 8th place there. I apologize, I skipped before we got to row 5. And we take the green flag. That's all that matters right now is the racing as I dive into turn 1, slamming Kyle Busch out of the way. Spoiler alert, we have a lot of trouble with him in the second race, so look forward to that as we go up the inside once more, gaining another spot. Not quite getting past the 16 car, but that doesn't matter because we're going to get past him anyways, along with the 25 car. An absolutely beautiful start to this race so far, as it looks like the AI is struggling to find speed in the early stages of the race. Meanwhile, I've already got the pace to start passing as I zoom in and past, hopefully, the Ryan Newman car, and it does seem like I do. Oh, no, wait. I completely mess up on the exit, losing 2 positions again, but I dive it back on the inside for a 3-wide pass. What a move. And just like that, 4 laps into the race, we've already made up 5 spots on our hunt for Jeff Gordon. As you saw, I did make a little bit of a mistake getting loose, but that was only temporary as we gained the spot immediately back. And we stayed in 12th place for a lap or 2 until we made this move on the 21 nice and easy. He's not a very fast car in this game, so that's no trouble there. Now up to 11th place. One more lap ahead on lap 7 here. We go into turn 3 to pass the 8 car, making slight contact on the exit, but overall smooth move, already into the top 10, just like that. And if you look at the track map where you see my little P symbol, you'll notice how despite the fact I'm making up places here, I'm actually not that close to the leaders, which is what makes this track so difficult. Being the fact that the leaders aren't being slowed down by these slower cars, where despite the fact I'm making up the positions, I am making slower laps than those leaders with no traffic. At least for the time being for the leaders, because once they do catch up to the lap cars, that will be a factor that could slow them down, giving me the opportunity to gain that time that I need on them. As you saw there, I had that little tight battle with Sterling Marlin in the 4 car, but we're now up to 8th place, not before he sneaks his nose in there for a little sniff though. And then it was after 12 laps where I decided to check the positioning on track. Well, it looks like Terry Labonte still in the lead from pole position. Jeff Gordon has managed to make it up to 2nd, Gerald Jarrett in 3rd, Dale Earnhardt in 4th, Rusty Wallace in 5th, rounding out the top 5. And you see me down there in 8th place, 5 seconds behind the leader. I can't waste any more time because it looks like Jeff Gordon might end up in 1st place. As we're on to lap 16, I did struggle to find pace for a few laps there, but no matter, we're on the back of the McDonald's car of Bill Elliott, diving into the turn and slamming into Bobby Labonte, coming inches from going right into the wall that's sticking out there, which would surely end my race and honestly potentially my life. As I slip and slide coming out of turn 2 there, I do manage to come away with 6th place, and Sterling Marlin manages to get past both Bobby Labonte and Bill Elliott, going up to 7th place himself. Excuse me while I relearn how to speak here. But moving on to lap 26 here, and it seems like by now I have found my pace, so I'm just gonna let you guys watch and listen for a lap or 2 here. Man, it was really tough finding a racing line that worked on this track. As you can see me experimenting here, basically I go quite tight on the corner entrance, then let the car go a bit to the outside in the middle of the corner and go back tight on the exit of the corner. Now my biggest problem with that is I couldn't stay consistent. As you can tell, sometimes I'm way farther to the outside and sometimes I'm not. It's just a very difficult game to be consistent at, which is part of the fun, honestly. And now on to lap 32, we have a 3-way battle for 4th place as that black and green car is a lap car, actually. The black and green car being slammed by Rusty Wallace and even me a little bit as Dale Earnhardt and Rusty Wallace battle for that 4th place ahead of me. I slam into the side of Rusty myself, giving a absolutely dirty pass going into that turn. But you know what, Rusty? I'm sorry. Rubbin's racing, especially at a track like this. We all know the number 3, the Intimidator ahead of us, knows all about that, so we're not going to be very nice when passing him. We can't hesitate at all as we dive into the corner. I absolutely mess up and have a 4-wheel slide into the wall, allowing Dale Earnhardt to zoom off into the sunset. Also allowing the pissed off Rusty Wallace to come zooming past me again. Again, my mistakes, erasing some beautiful moves there, but the race isn't over. As we fast forward a couple laps here, I find myself going into turn 3 with an opportunity to pass Rusty. We do make contact, but I manage to pull it off, going back onto the front straightaway. Now into 5th place for the time being, but the battle is not over as Rusty slides right past us again and slamming us into the wall. Rusty's pissed as he actually managed to do a switchback move, something I don't even see on AI in modern games, passing me again in the 5th place, and I'm pissed now too, so I slam him into the wall, but he comes back again. The AI is absolutely amazing at battling you, and I'm down back to 7th place.
down to 8th place. Absolutely decimated by the amazing aggressive AI in this game. And of course, I feel a little frustrated with myself now, so I make a mistake again, sliding out of the corner, and I lose another spot now to the McDonald's car of Bill Elliott. But luckily, that doesn't last long as I make a very nice move up the inside, gaining back 8th place. We're now on lap 40, almost halfway through the race. And as the battle for 8th place continues, take a look at the track map where my P symbol is and the L of the leader. He's actually quite close behind me and possibly lapping me in a matter of laps. So these battles I'm having for 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th place are absolutely detrimental to my chances of actually catching up and passing Jeff Gordon in regards to our battle for the championship here, as we make a nice smooth pass on Bobby Labonte, gaining back that 7th place, which is where we remain for a lap or two here until we find ourselves with a great opportunity to pass Sterling Marlin. Nice and smooth, setting it up for Rusty Wallace now for 5th place. Another smooth move. As you can see, I'm finally getting used to how to make moves and passes on this track. After about 44 laps of solid driving, you would expect that I would definitely have learned the track by now. Anyways, moving on to lap 48, let's check out the current race standings.
Update here. So Terry Labonte and Jeff seem to have taken a huge lead here. Only 12 cars on the lead lap already. That's insane. So yeah, Terry is only half a second away from Gordon, so the lead's definitely not safe. We got Dale Jarrett in 3rd and Dale Earnhardt in 4th still. Dale and Dale show. I'm now 5th. Sterling's all the way up to 6th now. He followed me through the field. He was all the way back towards the back of the pack with me to start the race. Rusty, the Rat Bastard, 7th. Bobby Labonte is 8th. Bill Elliott is 9th. And Jeff Burton is 10th. Same top 10.
And as we get that update from my past self here, we move on to lap 49. Where you can see Rusty Wallace sneaking in behind Sterling Marlin to cause even more trouble in this race as he sneaks down the inside a bit, but I do manage to hold him off for now. And 5th place is where we end up staying until the pit cycles start at about lap 63 as we see the Javelin car diving into the pits there. I take a moment to scratch my nose and mouth apparently. What are you doing, dude? And now that I'm done dealing with my face there, my strategy right now at this point in the race is to remain on track for as long as physically possible before going into the pits, because I'm scared to pit too early and get a caution flag and then end up like a lap down, because you do lose enough time in the pits on this track to lose a complete lap on anyone who's on track. So that's the reason why I stayed on track for so long here, as you see. And so as we hit fast forward to lap 66 here, you can see coming up in a second how I end up using a save state, because at the time, the audio started glitching, so I started getting paranoid about that happening. I just didn't want to do the entire race again. It was just a safety measure. So no, don't worry, I'm not cheating by doing that save state. As you see me try to get into the pits, I almost slide into the entry wall, which would surely have ended my chances of get a good result here, but we do manage to pull in and let the boys work on our car, yeah. Which, by the way, I find it funny, there's the little, like, symbol, it's called the lollipop for people who know NASCAR, but the little, like, number symbol that tells you where your pit box is will always be number 1 when you're player number 1. So it's based on player number, not car number, and I find that kind of interesting, because clearly I'm number 6. And so I take that number 6 car out onto the track in quite a dangerous way. We find ourselves in 5th place, right ahead of the two Labontes. And I have a little bit of a slide there, losing momentum, and have Bobby and Terry and Sterling Marlin going flying past me. And right now, I'm a little confused on the standings, so I go to check it out, because I could have sworn that Terry Labonte was in the lead. And yes, look, he is in the lead. He actually just lapped me and Sterling Marlin, and he's about to lap his brother and Bobby. So what I can only assume happened is Terry Labonte must have gained a bunch of time by going in the pits early, because he was pretty much the first one to go in. He gained half a track length on me during the pits, and a bunch of the other cars near me as well. So it's kind of created this weird concoction of lap cars and lead lap cars that are all in the top 7. Some a lap down and some not, as you see me make an amazing double pass up the inside, going 3 wide, now in the back bumper of Terry Labonte. At this point, I want nothing more than to get past Terry Labonte as I dive it up the inside and try to make it as short as possible. He apparently attempts to throw me into the pit wall there, so I try to slam him into the outside wall as he gets slammed by Sterling Marlin and Bobby. As it's absolute chaos in my rear view mirror, cars desperate to stay on the lead lap and Terry desperate to stay in the lead of Jeff Gordon. All those factors aside, I've now realized that I'm actually faster than the leaders, so all I have to do is keep my head down and push past these lap cars, and in no time I'll actually catch back up to the lead pack if I just play my cards right. And of course, it's never that simple, as you can watch what happens here with the NBM maker.
Bro, really?
Now on lap 80 here with Terry Labonte still in our rearview mirror, I make a massive mistake and end up in the wall, and now I'm no longer in the lead lap, so I try a desperate move immediately on the damaged number 5 car, and I do manage to pull it off perfectly. And now it's off to deal with the lap cars, which I'll leave you with a little montage of for the time being.
Swear to God, dude, you blocked me again. Oh yeah? You wanna fucking go? I already know I'm not gonna win this race. Damn. Cock. Brother! Are you serious? What the fuck? Oh!
And after all that battling, we find ourselves on lap 97. I'm still 14 seconds behind Terry Labonte, which is basically the entire track, meaning that a win is completely out of the question at this point. All we can really strive for is third place, who's only 6 seconds ahead of us. So it's time to put our heads down and start racing hard. And that's exactly what I would do for the next 10 laps, having next to no trouble until we meet Kyle Petty. Once again, always causing us trouble. And as we head to the corner, I totally underestimate how hard he'd brake, and I dive right into the back of his bumper, and we bang side to side, but I do manage to get right past him and on to the next lap, guys. Luckily, I didn't have too many lap cars to pass as we hit fast forward here. I sort of just found myself in a sweet clean air sort of area there, and I managed to pull off some great lap times, now catching up to the back of the famous Dale Earnhardt. And just ahead of him is the other famous Dale Jarrett, and I don't want to hesitate here as we're only 6 laps left in this race. I dive bomb the Intimidator and slide right past him onto the front straightaway. Honestly, one of my easier passes of the race. Now in 4th place, we want to hunt down that 3rd place Dale Jarrett before we run out of time in 5 laps. And I just gotta say here quickly that this Bristol race was the most fun I've had in this game so far, and ever since. It's just such a fun track. It really is maybe the best track in this game. And after struggling for a couple of laps to keep up with Dale Jarrett, we now find ourselves in the perfect position, able to use the draft from the lap car for a great run up the inside of the 88. We bump and bang again, somehow keep out of hitting any sort of wall, and with 2 laps to go, I'm now in 3rd place as the Havoline car's now banging Dale Jarrett around. And as the allergies I have right now bother my throat, making me unable to complete a full freaking sentence, we get the white flag 1 lap early, as well we're basically almost a lap down, but not quite. But that's all right though. We had a pretty great race. As we see the checkered flag here, we're gonna take it home in 3rd.
Bristol is the track with no caution flag. Well, that's a little busted, but hey, let's go. 3rd place. Not bad at all. 3rd place. Hopefully Terry won.
And Terry Labonte did indeed win, with Jeff Gordon 2nd place, me 3rd, Dale Jarrett in 4th, Dale Earnhardt in 5th, Rusty Wallace 6th, Bobby Labonte 7th, Sterling Marlin 9th, Jeff Burton 9th, Bill Elliott 10th. Yes, there's 2 places in 9th. Whatever. There's a reason I'm doing YouTube and I'm not a professional commentator. And yes, just like you heard past Snitch Racer mention there, this race actually had 0 caution flags, the only one so far on such a tight track. Honestly shocking. And on to the standings after race number 4. We got me, Mark Martin, in the lead, 15 points ahead of Jeff Gordon. Terry Labonte now up to 3rd place. It seems like he's entering this championship battle. Bobby Labonte in 4th, Dale Earnhardt 5th, Dale Jarrett 6th, Sterling Marlin 7th, Rusty Wallace in 8th, Ernie Irvin in 9th, and Bill Elliott will round out the top 10 for now. But we get to move on to the 5th race of the season, the 2nd race of this video in Salt Basin.
Greetings, I'm Bob Jenkins for EA Sports, and welcome to Salt Basin International Raceway near beautiful Salt Lake City, Utah. Today's event, the Salt Flat 400, is round 5 of this year's NASCAR Championship Racing Series. As we look at the track layout, race fans will enjoy watching the drivers put their skills to the test on this quick road course that features long straightaways and gentle turns.
Gentle turns? I honestly don't know what gentle turns he's talking about, but thanks anyways, Bob. Because, man, this track was very difficult. The AI seems to have a very good handle on the pace on this track compared to the first road course. It was a struggle just to keep on pace or even on track, but let me just leave you with my qualifying lap here.
What did I get? Come on now, get up and catch up with the field. Not even the top 10. Not even the top, hello? 14? 15th, wow. Bad.
Bad indeed, as it is very hard to make passes on this track. I'm going to have quite the struggle here. We got Dale Earnhardt starting in pole position, Rusty in 2nd, Jeff Bodine 3rd, Jeff Gordon in 4th, Bobby Labonte in 5th, Ricky Craven all the way up in 6th, Kenny Wallace up in 7th, Dale Jarrett in 8th, Jerry Mayfield 7th, Ernie Irvin rounding out the top 10 starting positions.
The green flag is out.
And the green flag is indeed out as we roll down the front straightaway. We do have quite a bit of speed, and as I go to the right past the McDonald's car, make an easy pass, another easy pass, and another pass up to 12th place on the back of Ryan Newman now, up to 11th place, but of course I throw it away, getting too carried away with my speed. I'm back where I started. Classic me. And that little moment's gonna sum up this race in a nutshell, as I can barely get a single clean lap in at this disastrous track. I only say disastrous because it's so hard for me personally. It's actually a pretty cool track. I just simply don't understand how to get a good pace on it. So you're going to simply have to watch and enjoy me drive like an amateur here as I use the McDonald's car as a bowling car, knocking off another car. Ryan Newman on the outside. I'm just struggling to keep 14th place now, as I make an awful move into the grass on the inside of Ryan Newman, losing all momentum I had. Good thing he's as slow as a greasy rock as I get past him on the outside, going on to the last corner, now onto the front straightaway here in 13th place. You can see how Ryan Newman's already getting swallowed up by the faster cars in my rearview mirror. And now it's on to focusing on what's ahead of me, as I do manage to hit that corner very nice, and the next corner not so nice as I do a four-wheel slide. Catching up to this car here is my main mission for the time being, along with trying to find any sort of consistent pace at this very hard track. And this RCA car is quite slow compared to the rest of the field, so we don't have too much trouble going past him, as the 28 car and that yellow car are battling. Just like the last road course, they're bumping and banging all over the track again. I guess they're just rivals, as I'm my own rival, having a four-wheel slide into the dirt. And look at this disaster, as I literally don't even understand what's going on. It looks like the 31 car has decided to be my lover, as he's just nosing me in the front over and over, taking us into some sort of weird glitch cyclone into the wall. And as I recover back on track, yes, I'm in 24th now, last place, 2 laps in, and my chances of winning the race and maybe even finishing in the top 10 are gone instantly. As we roll up on the 21 car, who I called the 25 car all race on the first race there, we do manage to gain back 1 position immediately. As you see the P on the track map though, I am a good 10 seconds maybe behind 22nd place. So we have a lot of work to do just to salvage anything out of this race. Now on lap 3, trying to pass the dreaded number 22 MBNA car. I have almost no trouble getting past him there. I say almost, as he does stick his nose in one last time, of course. That aggressive AI, oh no, I do make another mistake on the same corner that I've made a mistake on every lap. I'm just having a disaster of a race. It's a lost cause at this point, as we're actually going into damage limitation mode, because at this rate, if I finish 23rd or something, I'm not going to be in the lead of the championship, as I do manage to slide past that 22 car again. But can we make this move stick this time? Yes, it looks like we can. And 21st is Ryan Newman, the world's slowest NASCAR, so we're almost going double his speed there, and we just simply go right by him. As we hit fast forward here, we find ourselves at the back bumper of the main antagonist of today's race, Kyle Petty. And we look immediately for a move to the outside, and he gives us no space, so we try to switch back and clip the grass, having a four-wheel slide into the side of the 44, now bumping and banging down the front straightaway. I do have more pace than him, making it easy to stay ahead of him for the time being at the very least. Because yes, that's right, you're about to watch me make the same mistake a lap later into the wall once again. A total disaster. Kyle Petty on the outside even managed to hit me on the way by somehow, but now he is long gone and I have a lot of work to get back up to him. Luckily, it only took me about a lap to catch up to his back bumper on the front straightaway, where I have all the pace I need to get by him simply. Really, I should just be careful on every lap to make it through, just so I have that front straightaway pass available, but I'm starting to get flustered, so I simply am overdriving the car most of the lap. And without spoiling too much, overdriving that car too much is going to come back to bite me harder than an alligator in downtown Los Angeles. Now on lap 7, we make another mistake, having a four-wheel slide into a wall, once again opening up the move for Kyle Petty to attempt and move on the outside, but I accidentally closed the door on him perfectly. That doesn't last very long though, as not even a lap later I make a huge mistake again. I do manage to keep it out of the wall, but of course Kyle Petty's right there, making a move on the outside. I'm starting to get frustrated, so I just slam into the side of him. He seems to retaliate back and slam me into the wall, now driving off into the sunset. And honestly, from now on till the end of my race, this became a screw you Kyle Petty race, as the only thing I cared about at this point was A, finishing ahead of him, and B, maybe just flat out taking him out of the race for my own personal satisfaction. I'll let you guys watch a little compilation I made of me and Kyle Petty's ridiculous battle. And as we come to the end of that little mini compilation there, we actually have Jeff Gordon in our mirror now, the leader of the race. Yes, my pace is so bad and my battle with Kyle Petty is so intense that we're actually getting lapped by Jeff Gordon as he just sneaks right past us. I don't even want to battle him too hard because I only care about Kyle Petty. And as we say his name, he just slams right past us like he doesn't give a crap. And that's where my patience is starting to really run thin, as I don't even care about the corner. I'm just trying to spin Kyle Petty out and I can't even do that. And so it was at this point that I decided if I'm a sinking ship, well, I'm taking Kyle Petty down with me as I try an absolute mental move, slamming it into the wall and losing another position. Whoa, actually, it's not a position. That's Terry Labonte. He lapped me again. As I'm so out to lunch in this race, I don't even know where the hell I am. All I know is I want Kyle Petty gone. As I've turned into a bounty hunter now. My target is Kyle Petty. We come into this corner. We have a mega crash slamming into the wall, both of us. Somehow I survive the crash, and so does Kyle Petty. As I try to give him one more shot, I accidentally hit the Intimidator. I am embarrassed and pissed off, and all I want is Kyle Petty, and I see red. I'm just gonna go slam into the back of him with all my might, and I knocked off my wheel. Yes, that's right. My race looks like it's over. I'm pulling over to the side. That's a DNF. The first DNF of the season. A freaking total, absolute devastation moment. As you see the look on my face on screen there when I'm starting to come to the reality that my race is over. And the rest of that race was simulated. So it looks like Bobby Labonte takes the race win with Terry Labonte in second place, Jeff Gordon third, Dale Jarrett fourth, Kenny Wallace somehow in fifth, Jeff Bodine sixth, Johnny Benson 7th, Sterling Marlin 8th, Dale Earnhardt 9th, Rusty Wallace rounding out that top 10 for the race. And I just want to say a shout out to the Labonte brothers for getting that number 1, number 2 finish. Absolutely legendary stuff right there. But let's move on to the standings to see how much damage has been done there. And yes, unfortunately, I was right. Jeff Gordon has taken over the lead of the championship. I'm 59 points behind now in fourth place. I have a lot of work to do if I want to catch up to Jeff Gordon. I'm going to have some very good races for the next few races. And then on top of that, we have Bobby Labonte in second, Terry Labonte only 2 points behind in third, Dale Earnhardt fifth, Dale Jarrett sixth, Sterling Marlin seventh, Rusty Wallace eighth, Ernie Irvin ninth, and Kenny Wallace somehow still remains 10th place. And man, I got to admit, I didn't expect to lose so many points on Jeff Gordon there. I thought I'd still be in second. It's a lot worse than I thought. Hey, but the silver lining of that is now I have something to strive for. I'm no longer in the lead in the championship, which will make the rest of the series much more interesting. I look forward to the next couple of races in order to make up for those disasters I just had. Luckily, the next race is Sears Point, also known as Infineon Raceway and now Sonoma Raceway. It's the track that seems to never find its name. You can see me practicing for it in the background here. Lucky thing is, I'm quite familiar with this track because of NASCAR games, so I'm going to use that familiarity to my advantage as best as I can in order to make up that championship debt. But anyways, again, I just want to thank everyone for watching. Remember to like and subscribe if you want to see more. And remember to tune in next time when I knock out someone in Knoxville.